dinosaurs would be too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst, we're left here.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2025 film Jurassic World Rebirth. The film is directed by Gareth Edwards and it stars Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend and Manuel Garcia Rufo. Right, okay, this is set I think 5 years after the events of the last Jurassic World film, Dominion. And it focuses on a pharmaceutical company, basically. It wants to go to one of these islands where the last remnants of the dinosaurs are essentially living. And these are the ones that were stored there and experimented on, so on and so forth. They believe they have discovered a medical breakthrough, but they need a team to go to this island and extract DNA from 3 of the largest dinosaurs on that island. So he hires Scarlett Johansson's character, Mahershala Ali's character, and Jonathan Bailey, who is a doctor. They are to head out onto this island to get these samples. As you could imagine, this is Jurassic World and things don't exactly go according to plan. At the side of that, there is a family out on a vacation on their boat. They get capsized in their boat by one of the dinosaurs underwater. They end up joining this group and they all have to learn how to survive together. Right, what are my thoughts on Jurassic World Rebirth? Well, this franchise now has kind of, it's gone to a whole new level. After the Jurassic World films, say what you will about those films, they were all extraordinarily successful in regards to box office receipts. The first Jurassic World was, I think, pretty damn good, and then I quite enjoyed the next 2. Yes, there's some aspects of those films that are a little bit dumb, but they were still entertaining enough, I suppose. The whole Jurassic franchise, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise is, in my opinion. So it was probably inevitable that they were going to kind of restart the franchise or reboot it, which is what they've done here with Rebirth. However, while they have done that, and I do find this film quite enormously entertaining at times, if I'm being honest, it does feel like you are kind of treading over old ground here. There's aspects here of Jurassic Park 2, the second one, The Lost World, even aspects of Jurassic Park 3. It feels like it is just like retreading old ground for the most part here, but it doesn't make it any less entertaining here. I enjoyed the film. Well, I want to say enjoyed the first half of the film, I think, considerably more than the second half, which is odd really, because the second half of the film is the real roller coaster ride of, you know, action and dinosaurs and running about and screeching and stuff. But I thought the first half of the film was a little bit more reserved, trying to introduce us to characters. I'm not saying successfully, because most of the characters weren't particularly well fleshed out. My favourite character here was Jonathan Bailey's Dr. Harry Loomis, I think he were called. He was, you know, quite charming and resourceful, and I thought he kind of came out on top here, if I'm being honest. Scarlett Johansson's Zoe Bennett or something she were called. She's like this high-end mercenary with a huge reputation. At the start of the film, she's not even particularly likable. She kind of comes around by the end of the film and does the right things, but I found her a bit one-dimensional, if I'm being honest, as most of the other characters were in the film, especially Rupert Friend's character, who was like the big corporate pharmaceutical bad guy. And alongside Jonathan Bailey's Dr. Henry Loomis, I thought the family. I mean, you could question why the family got there in the first place. I mean, this island has been outlawed by every government on the planet. No one's allowed to go there, for good reason, because, you know, things go bad when people get in contact with dinosaurs. So this family's out on their boat on vacation. You would think that they had to have been in and around those waters that have been kind of barred by all the governments in the world. So you question how they got there in the first place. It seems like these waters aren't defended, really. You would think that they would be. But so while you do question how it was silly how the family got involved in the film, I enjoyed all the family, really. I thought they brought quite a human element to the film, and I enjoyed it. The film then, for me, the second half of the film, it just felt like, oh no, they've got into a sticky situation with a dinosaur. So it could be raptors, or it could be a pterodactyl type thing, or it could be a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Oh no, I'm in a sticky situation. How am I going to get out of it? And most of the time, they kind of get out of it. Occasionally, one of them gets munched. And it just felt like for the last half of the film, that's what we got all the time, until we got to the end where we met this new mutated dinosaur, the one that had been created in a lab. Which, okay, it looked fine and impressive and that kind of stuff. But I think one of the mistakes I think this franchise is making, it seems like every time there's a new Jurassic World film, they have to give us a new dinosaur, a new, more menacing dinosaur than we saw in the last film. And I personally don't think they need to do that. They just need somebody that understands how to generate fear and tension, to put you on the edge of your seats. Steven Spielberg did that in the first film with raptors and a Tyrannosaurus Rex. He didn't need any other dinosaurs, and you're pretty terrified occasionally in that film. So they're kind of thinking, oh well, everybody's seen Tyrannosaurus Rexes. They're not scared of them. Well, make us scared of them again. Make us scared of raptors. Make us scared of some other dinosaurs. Don't create them out of thin air. You know, these dinosaurs. I mean, and I think that's the mistake they're making now. No, to go back to your roots, if you like, strip it all back and kind of give us almost like a horror film. And I think that would go down really, really well with audiences. But I mean, I did have a good time with this film. I was going in expecting not to like it because I'd seen a few fairly negative reviews about it. I think this is perfectly entertaining enough to go to cinema with. With your family and what have you. It's a fun time. If you're going to the film, a Jurassic World film, you expect to be entertained, it almost to be like a roller coaster ride of, dinosaurs and action and all this kind of stuff. You get it from pretty much beginning to end. I don't really know what else you would expect from a Jurassic World film. And this, I think, delivers in most aspects of that area. I think it's probably better than the last two Jurassic World films. But that's me. I mean, to be fair, I don't massively remember them, but I just remember the feeling I had coming out of the cinema with this one. I thought it was well done. It felt like they were kind of retreading some of the past films and borrowing some of the elements that we've seen in previous films. But overall, I think the effects were fantastic. I mean, absolutely fantastic. You can't honestly complain about any of the effects in this film. I thought they were really, really outstanding. There were some really, really good action set pieces, especially my favourite was the boat one, which you've seen in the trailers, where the underwater big dinosaur, I can't remember the names, flips over the boat and attacks it and stuff. That's really, really fantastically done, I thought. And I actually there's a scene in this with a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I preferred that scene to the scene later on in the film where we meet this new mutated dinosaur. But that's just me. So yeah, I think if you're a fan of this franchise, you're a fan of dinosaur films, you're a fan of Jurassic World franchise as a whole, I think you're going to be happy with this one. If you're going into this expecting, highly intellectual, character development and, really thought-provoking subject matter, behave yourself. This is a Jurassic World film that's meant to entertain, and that's just it, really. So thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.